Okay, so here's part 2 of keyword research training. Like I said in the first video, what we do when you start a business is you really want to look at about 2 or 3 keywords that you feel you can compete on and actually get ranked for. And that's the key, because you're going to start spending money on building, creating articles and videos and slideshows and all sorts of stuff, link building, and all with these few keywords in mind. So before you start spending money on competing keywords, you really want to do some research to help yourself. Okay, I'm going to put in dog training again now. This is the new, excuse me, and let me just say before we start this, I apologize, is that to find this page that I'm on right now, just simply go to Google and type in Google AdWords Keyword Tool or Google Keyword Tool or Keyword Tool Google AdWords, anything like that, and you will see it come up. So this is what it will look like. There is here this previous interface because they just changed interfaces and many people are still comfortable with using the old one, but probably because this is where we're headed, we're going to stick with this for the moment. And now we're going to search. And as you can see here, you can also search websites. Okay, so here we go, aggressive dog training. And now what I want to focus on for Google, the keyword tool here, is competition. So, we had our keyword blueprint, which is very helpful, but I like to always use a few tools. I'm also going to do a training on Market Samurai. And between the 3, that should be pretty good for a keyword research set of videos. So as we go down here, you see there is stiff competition in the dog training niche. Very stiff. There is not one of these bars that is anything but full green. What we're looking for is anything that has a little space. So let's just go a little bit further here and see. Now this is where either you say, okay, I don't care, I love dog training and I want to compete in this, and I'll do what it takes, and that's fine. If you did, then what I would suggest obviously is, puppy training here is getting 550,000 searches globally, but locally here it's getting close to 400,000 searches, upwards of over 350 at least. So if you're going to go into a heavily competitive keyword with high competition, then I would suggest at least doing one. Here, look at this one with this high competition, but there's only 1,300. So I would focus then, if you're going to then compete on something with a high competition, that you go for at least something with a good chunk of people visiting every month. So I don't like this. Personally, I would not advertise in this niche, or I would start to really branch out. Maybe those dog bark collars are something I would consider. Let's see what they're all about. And by the way, Google also has Google Trends, and if you go on Google Trends, you'll see what's hot in the moment, and it can also help you find products. All right, bark collar dogs. Here's something with a little less competition. Not fantastic in numbers. Ultrasonic bark collars. There's just not enough information there. It looks like not enough people searching. Now this is interesting because dogs bark collars, they have no info here, which could mean that it's a product. Well, no, it's not talking about any specific product. Not sure why this is here, but that means that there's not enough information and not enough for me to start competing on, especially if I'm spending money. And as you see now, I'm having some problems here, finding something in this niche. There's another one we're going to look up quickly that I saw in passing about bad breath for dogs. This is interesting, but again, I don't feel it's enough searches. It's lower competition, but in the end, what we're looking for is something with around, well, this would be even better, but around halfway. The competition's about half full, and something here where you're more in about the 20,000 range. And let's just try this here. this isn't going to be huge, but look at this dog, bad breath. Yeah, well, okay. So again, kidney failure. Again, these are many times just associated searches. All right, well, I'm not finding anything worthwhile here. Again, the idea of this training is to show you my thought process. So it wasn't necessarily to find something, but just how to find it and what you want to look for. So this is all fine because, you know, I want to show you my thought process here. And what I realize is there's nothing here that I feel has a good combination of a low competition with a high search volume. One of the keywords I compete on at the moment locally gets around 50,000 searches. It's about 2/4 full, and it took me only 2.5 weeks to reach the top of that search engine. Again, I had about, I think, two full-time, one part-time for those 2 weeks working for me on Odesk, and I think it cost me, you know, it was under 300 for sure, but I think it was even under 250 for all that time. So it was well worth it to get to that. Well worth it. So let's just try another niche quickly. Let me see what we have on time here. Okay, well, we have another few minutes. You know, you get the idea here. Let's go back to, again, I don't want to go to any of these really big niches. Let's vegetarian cooking. This is something seems more of a, like it'll be a sub-niche. All right. Wow, pretty heavy competition with this as well. You know, look at this vegan cooking, and you know, that bar is full. Easy vegetarian cooking, pretty high competition still. Okay, well, looks like I picked another pretty competitive niche. Now again, this is interesting because I would be curious about the stats here. You know, this cook everything vegetarian. Alright, what I want to do is I want to give you another strategy here quickly to end this training. And this is actually a very big strategy. So what we would do is now let's actually go up here and look at one of these really heavily competed phrases. So here we go. Easy cooking is not what we were looking for. Alright, let's look at healthy cooking recipes. So I want to quickly go now to, what is this? We have healthy cooking recipes. Okay, so let's go to Google. Actually, no, let's go to, I know I'm trying to do a lot here in a short amount of time. It's because these YouTube videos, like I always say, they can't be more than 10 minutes. So I start to feel a bit under the gun. All right, what we're going to try here is, okay, healthy cooking recipes. Healthy cooking recipes. I'm not thinking we're going to get the .com, but we might as well always try.